Tru Tulsa, we're out here. We're having a blast. We're doing all sorts of fun stuff. How's the audio levels look on this thing, by the way? We got a lot of fun happening out here. But okay, so recently, up close and personal, we are going to have a competition for Tru Tulsa's Bartender of the Year. This will be a seasonal thing. We're doing a winner Bartender of the Year. Will be coming up. Now, this is great. You're going to get nominated for this thing on the website. You go to Tru Tulsa. You should get nominated.
I don't bartend. If they had security up there earlier this year, I could have won, but I think it's a good idea.
Look forward to it. I mean, do you think it's, I think people will really get behind it.
I'm going to be partial to the girls at Fishbones Owasso or the bartenders there. Bartenders here at Maloney's. I mean, it's going to be a tough one.
Well, yeah. I mean, they've been really good to the show. It's all fun. But in general, anybody. So what we're establishing rules-wise is that you got to be in the Tulsa area, right? I mean, you can't be in Detroit. As much fun and as much money as we've got from our sponsors, we're not gonna have the money to fly you in from Detroit. So you've got to be in the Tulsa area to compete, right?
Did you have something in your throat for a second?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
That money's coming up.
Yeah, all the money we're making. But no. Okay, so, but seriously, we want to make sure that you're a Tulsa area. I mean, that's the concept for the show. We want to make sure that you're a Tulsa area resident. I mean, maybe you're a bartender somewhere else, but you're normally here. So you got to get nominated and voted on TruTulsa.com. Then, as people vote for you, the top 5 people with the most votes are going to be tested on skill sets that one would have to be Tru Tulsa's Bartender of the Year. Whether that's making drinks under the line of fire, everybody yelling at you, you've got to mix crazy drinks, all flipping bottles. I don't know, we're going to see. We're going to see how this is going to go down.
I'll tell you this right now. The bartenders I know, or that I've worked with for many months, you yell at them, you won't like what you get.
No. I mean like loud music and people are yelling orders across to them.
I don't know, like I said.
But we don't know. The competitions are yet to be made, right? But vote. Here's the thing we want. We want you to honestly be able to hold over people that you are Tru Tulsa's Bartender of the Year. If we just gave it to you on a vote, somebody could rig that thing. We want the top 5 best, and we want them to show why they are. So when you watch the video, there's got to be no doubt. That person right there is a slightly better bartender than this phenomenal bartender right here.
Yeah.
That's what we're going to find out. Now, we're out here at CJ Maloney's.
Yep.
We're going to be doing
Halloween show.
Halloween show. So you could get a trick. You could get a treat.
That was a trick and a treat.
You can get tricked with your treat.
Yeah, I promise you, the first 10 minutes of this show, you will not forget it. All I gotta say is Richard Simmons, Olivia Newton-John's physical, and a big fat guy on stage dancing. That's how we're kicking the show off.
Yeah. Take a break from the insane political infomercials and stop and watch this. It's extremely funny. These guys are gonna be. I don't know if you haven't seen already. You probably already have. If you have yet to see Billy do anything, Billy is very, very, very funny.
Thank you. I'll pay you after the
And his stuff is different every time.
It'll be different tonight. In fact, tonight I am telling a story. It's everybody, all comics have those moments in their life where they're like, if I should repeat this story because that shit doesn't happen to normal people. I have what I call the Candyman story. Everything you are going to hear in this story is true, and it was one of those that after it happened, like a year later, I'm like, normal people just would have jumped off a bridge if something like that happened to them. But I've never told this many people before. So I've told maybe like 10 people on Earth know this story. So it's,
only like 10 people on Earth have heard this story.
It's going to be a world premiere. People either going to laugh and cringe, or they'll be like, shut the fuck up. But one of the two things are going to happen. But yeah.
No, man. It's about sharing, though. I think,
it's about self-defamation. That's what they want. They want you to make fun of yourself.
The majority of younger people, right, they get who they are, what they should believe in, who they feel, all this stuff. A lot of this they get through comedy.
Yeah. Sure.
I mean, comedy's just one way of telling stories. It's one way of getting a message across, one way of fulfilling other people's desire to learn something different.
It's true.
And laugh, you know, I mean.
I was a 400-pound fat kid in high school, but my sense of humor got me the ladies. So that and, that and some chloroform and a big trunk space.
Oh, man.
But,
I love it. I love it.
You know, speaking of today's generation, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No.
There's a kid, I just started the normal job again, working for a good company, and one of the guys in my training class, he's in that Y generation, as in, why the fuck are you still alive? But he was talking, he's like, man, he's like, people don't understand today's style. Now, this guy, he's a tall kid, so I figured this is why but he has those pants that are like high waters, and
What?
I see other people wearing them. They're not skinny jeans. I mean, these are high ones.
We're talking like capris for guys.
Almost. They're borderline capris. And with goofy-looking socks, like shit that the Wicked Witch of the East wears in Wizard of Oz. Those kind of socks.
So we're bringing back literally like Back to the Future style, you know, attire.
But I asked him, I said, why do you wear that? And he was like, it's a fashion statement. And I was like, fucker, I'm 38. When I was growing up, that was a reason to get your ass whipped. There was no fashion statement.
No.
And I was like, why do you really wear it? He's like, it's a European thing. And I was like, yeah, if I would have told the people beating my ass when I wore high waters it was a European thing, the term faggot would have been thrown in there a few times. I don't get it.
Dude, I know where this stuff comes from. All right, so here's my brainchild of where I think this comes from. You've got these kids, right? That these girls that, you know, at least for the guys' fashions anyways. I would assume maybe for the girls too, but for the guys' fashions, right? There's some guy out there who's trying to look different, you know, whether he's a pop star, a movie star, or whatever. He's trying to look different. He's trying to shape his own image. And all these teen girls are like, that guy's so hot! And all these kids are seeing that
Justin
going,
Bieber?
yeah. And so all these kids are seeing this crazy shit this other dude's wearing so he looks popular and famous, right? And so they all go out to the store and they're like, I know this shit looks ridiculous, but these girls are going to love it. They're going to...
I have an extreme bitterness for Justin Bieber, and I'll tell you why. A lot of people who have seen the shows or who know me personally, they know that my ex-wife left me for a woman. Not another one, but a woman. And this girl looks like Justin Bieber with blonde hair. Like,
really?
when I see Justin
She's
Bieber,
got the Trump comb over and everything?
Everything. And it's just like, what? And so every
Like,
time I
how
see
is
Justin
the Trump
Bieber,
comb over hot, man? Like, how is that even attractive?
I don't know. Justin Bieber actually looks more feminine than she does. So, but yeah, it's, I don't know. It's not music. It's noise. Me and my girlfriend were talking about this on the way up here. None of this stuff is music. I mean, there's that song out, All I Want for Christmas is a Big Old Booty. Have you heard that or seen it?
No, but I can
think it's called
imagine
by
exactly how it would go down, like, and, you know, and there'd just be some shaking. And then
Santa Claus coming out, big old booty.
Oh, yeah.
It's noise. It's noise. It's not music.
I mean, I really think, like, there's music that, to me, now that may speak to you. You may be hearing a message in it, you know, hip-hop, whatever it is, music out there. You might be learning from that as a style, you know, that kind of thing. And I think there's crap that's just out there so you can shake something to it and be dirty. You know, like, I mean, people who just want something to shake something to and dirty to. And then there's the people who've spent so much years in the business, B.B. King, stuff like that, who are really writing
music.
stuff.
And everything today is
that
based on
experience something.
Yeah, it's shit that, it's all remixed. I mean, I don't know. It's noise to me. It's not music anymore. And I get now, I'm glad that my parents played Stevie Wonder, Led Zeppelin, The Doors, stuff like that. I hated it as a kid.
Very superstitious writings on the wall.
Who sings that?
Stevie Wonder.
Let him sing it.
Oh!
So,
And he does sing it way better
yes,
than
he
me.
does. And he's blind, so he's already, you know, he already got one more sense than he does. But it's noise, and they sample the stupidest shit. You know,
I think so.
It drives me batty.
I really do. I mean, everything from the theme song to like X-Files going into songs and stuff. I'm like, really? It's a TV show? No. But it sounds kind of cool. But okay, so a lot of crazy stuff's happening. We got you know, election coming up. Not saying you're for this guy or against this guy, but as far as I mean, outside of that, what do you think about the overall process? I think like it's gotten a little ridiculous. I think the ads are insane.
I'm bitter.
Is crazy.
We live in an age where every time the president speaks, or during anybody, vice president, presidential-elect, nominees, when they speak, we can log onto the internet and check their facts. We have a website called factchecker.org. we can check them immediately. We can tweet each other, and we can Facebook each other. And you know what's going to happen the day of the election? It's going to come down to this. I'm either going to vote for the Mormon or the black guy. That's what it's going to come down. I mean, that's what it is, especially in this state. You can't vote independent in the state.
I think one thing that people miss, right? You want to blame the one guy. You want to look at what's going wrong, and you see 420 of these dudes, you see 100 of these dudes, you see 7 of these dudes, and you don't want to blame them for anything. You want to blame the one guy. Because it's easier to blame the one guy. That's the name you can say. That's the name you've heard, the person you've seen. But the reality is both of these guys are saying they're going to do these wild, crazy things. There's this system of checks and balances where they're going to have to deal with other people.
All the checks are bouncing.
And yeah, dude. I mean, the reality is all of these people are Americans. They're all normal people. And what do we do as a society? I think the average person spends more than they take in.
Oh, yeah.
They get their credit card debt up. So we elect Americans who are doing the American way.
Yeah.
That's not right, but when you have all these people in there, it's going to, I think, end up that way for another probably 20 or 30 years before we actually even look at this thing.
This is true.
But the crazy stuff out, man. There's a new tsunami coming. There's a lot of crazy movies coming. What do you think about the tsunami?
What I find funny, I actually wrote some material about this, is tonight, I think it's already happened, Eastern time, they're shutting down the mass transit system in New York. And New Yorkers, I guess, are getting a bad rap because they're saying they're not prepared and they're not hurricane ready. And I'm like, really? How often does? I mean, that's like saying New Yorkers aren't volcano ready because God knows all the active volcanoes in Manhattan.
Yeah. I think like the last person I saw, who did any type of natural disaster type thing, like there was like a tornado and the place flipped out. They had a mild earthquake and the place flipped out.
Here in
this
Oklahoma,
is like 2 feet of water.
Yeah, here in Oklahoma, when it's going to snow like 3 inches, you think a fucking blizzard's coming because they ransacked the Walmart. It's like the villagers.
You go in there, and what is it? What is it? The stuff you want? Huh? What we got? All right.
Get Sheila and then CR, the headliner.
All right. Let's get these people in here.
I got to go practice my dancing.
We've got. Oh yeah. All right, so it's going to be great. You're going to love it. Look for his stuff. It's going to be funny. He's going to be hosting tonight, so you're going to see a lot of his material.
All new.
It's all new, baby. It's
Always
all new. Out with the in.
And next Sunday, Brent is hosting. Sorry, I didn't finish it.
Oh, yeah.
So he's hosting the show in Owasso. So, you're going to pop your cherry as a host for the show. So.
I'll walk out there, and I'll immediately be like, and I'll be like, and I'll be like,
I'm here to pop my cherry.
That's happened a lot on the stage in Owasso. Not just in the comedy show. So
you're like, sorry. Did I say that out loud?
Real quick though, you say that. A friend of mine just came back from overseas, and great guy. He defended our country, but he lost all of his both of his hands. And his dream was to always be a sports broadcaster.
Yeah.
Now in broadcasting that when you say something you're not supposed to, you cover it up. So he's also racist. So he can't call a game without saying something stupid. So can you imagine him, speaking into the mic, and when he says white man, he can't cover it up because he thinks he is, and he keeps talking. So he got fired because he lasted like an hour on the job because he couldn't cover his mic up.
Everybody, dude, there are screw-ups in every race, creed, culture in the entire world. I beg anybody to tell me how there's not a screw-up in any demographic, all right? So
we had one running the country for 8 years.
No, I'm saying. Well, okay. Outside of that, no, well,
screw up.
But I'm saying, who's not a screw up, man? We said everybody, so there's no point in being hateful. Just be hateful because you don't like somebody, not because of who they, might be, right? Yeah. Hate them because of who they are. That's the loving message I have for you tonight.
Trick or treat.
Trick or treat. Never mind.
How do you get a guy to quit liking blowjobs? She wanted a bunch of.
You're like, I'm gonna finish what the moil stopped. You've ever heard of Lorena Bobbitt? Let me tell you the story. All right, I'm just kidding. I don't know. So what's you been doing? Anything fun? I mean, it's been a while since anybody's seen you out on this stuff. What's been going on?
Well,
Anything we're talking about? Anything you want to talk about? You don't have to talk about it. I'm kidding.
Oh, just been busy getting ready for the holiday seasons.
Now, have you
hibernating.
Have you done any of the? Are you doing any Halloween preparations?
I blew it off this year. It's going to go big next year.
Well, now it is.
Double up on it. Yeah.
I heard recently Halloween is becoming one of the most expensive seasons of the year. I mean, people are spending hundreds and hundreds of dollars.
I spent $2.50 on my costume this year.
And it's fun. Like, you could get a T-shirt that just says,
right.
I love myself. You're like, who are you? I'm a guy who loves himself. You don't need crazy stuff. And yet, sometimes it's kind of fun, right?
Right, absolutely.
What's the craziest thing you've ever done that you'd want to talk about? Halloween costume. Yeah.
I was Dirty Sanchez. That was fun. Poopy handprints on the back, said Dirty Sanchez here, and had the mustache.
Now, I imagine,
yeah.
as funny as you are, did you have a story or anything you talked about while you were doing that? Is there anything that, like if you walk into some mobster?
I know, I had to keep describing the sex act to everybody. I'm like, you don't know what that is? Like, yes, we did, but we wanted you to say it.
They're like, Dirty Sanchez, what is that? Is that? You're like,
well, you gotta.
Well, let me tell you about it. Flip out my book. Long time ago, there was a.
I'm just kidding. And every time I fell for it.
No, you know what though? I think had I been at a party where you were doing that, I would have done the same thing. I would have been having just as much fun with it. People would have loved that, right?
Right. Describe it to me in detail.
Now, there's a lot of crazy stuff happening nowadays. You've got like a massive hurricane that's like about to like wipe out New York.
Right.
I mean, literally, we've got the real day after tomorrow is going to happen. Floods, natural.
The rapture.
Well, at least that's the way it looks. They're closing down the subway. I've never even heard of closing down the subways in New York. Do they ever do that?
Yes, today. Dumbass.
Well, I know. No, I'm saying but that's not happen very often. I wouldn't think so. I mean, why else would homeless people live in them?
I know.
Because they're always open,
I know. That's what she said.
So if you've got, there's going to be people out there who are definitely going to enjoy what the comedy that's on the CD. They're going to enjoy what's on the web. They're going to love it. If you're watching and you want to see, you see her and you say, man, I want to know more about what's going on. How do people find out? How do people get involved? What's going on?
Well, we do a lot of different shows. We do the CJ Maloney's, of course. And the first Sunday of every month, we do the Fishbones Owasso. You can find every one of us at the Looney Bin on a Wednesday night, amateur night. We get to draw for that. And we had been doing the Blue Rose, but now, every Thursday, we're going to be doing Lot 6, a comedy club. Or it's not a comedy club, but we're going to do comedy night at the Lot 6.
Have you been to Lot 6? Comedy will be happening. All right.
It'll be fun. It's a new bar.
It'll be awesome. Check it out.
Yeah.
Look for you're gonna love her. We think she's great. She's extremely funny.
Thank you very much.
Always a pleasure talking to you.
You too.
Anything
because you're
people
so cute.
should be. Oh,
I know.
Well, anything people should really look forward to out of the material you're throwing at them tonight? Is there anything any of that stuff?
Yeah, I got a new bit. It's a lot of fun. You'll have to wait and see.
You'll have to wait and see. We're not going to ruin it for you, kids. Stay tuned.
Absolutely.
Always a pleasure.
Thank you. Love you.
We're out here. We're continuing our quest to determine the most humorous events of the evening. So stay tuned. It'll be awesome. What's been going on with you? What have you done since the last time we've seen you? Last time I don't think I saw you out. What have you been up to? Anything crazy? Anything fun?
Well, I've been very busy. I was recently in the Looney Bins competition, the funniest person in Tulsa competition, and
I didn't hear that. Okay, so what was going on with the Looney Bin funniest competition?
They do this competition once a year where they try to determine the funniest open micer, the funniest amateur in Tulsa, and it runs most of the year. And it's heading toward the finals. The semifinals were a couple of weeks ago. I made it to the finals. The finals are the 21st of November.
That's seriously, if you guys are out there, I don't know who the other comedians that we've got on there. Get on there, vote. Is it a voting thing?
It's not. It was up until this last round. This last round will have judges. So it's getting serious.
If you guys know, well, that's awesome. Congratulations.
Well,
seriously, good job. If you guys know somebody who's a judge, seriously, he's not allowed to tip them or bribe them, but you guys might be able to. See, like tell him you'll bake him cake or something. Throw in a good nomination,
or maybe some brownies.
Brownies, perhaps. And we're not telling you what type of brownie recipe. No, I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. Just I don't know. But what's been going now in the media? There was just crazy. I turn on everywhere. It's always talking about news and who's getting elected and what this person does. Now, not talking about where you're leaning that way, because that could be a whole different discussion.
Yes, it could.
But the thing that I think is really interesting is the average person who's like 35 years or younger. Their big thing is we're coming this way. Their big thing on this is to learn right now from comedians like stand-up comedy, maybe comedians like Jon Stewart, stuff like that. And how are you, when you're looking at this stuff, all this craziness, do you think to yourself, like, man, comedy could really educate some of these undecided people, like what's really going on? Some of these youngsters through comedy.
It probably could, but if you are looking to me for political commentary,
No. I saw that. I see the funniest stuff. And it is so just politically just gone.
Oh, yeah.
We've made these people into these total characters. And I love it, the reality of all the fun stuff that's happening now. And it's like you get nothing on the news unless there's a massive storm, let's say, headed for New York.
Yeah, you get better news from Jon Stewart than you do CNN.
Yeah, I mean, you just turn it on and you're like, really? We're just going to figure out how many bowel movements this guy's had today.
Exactly.
And whether those bowel movements might affect the polls and how he's 2 points up because of his bowel movements.
Or who
It's
the
crazy.
Kardashians are sleeping with tonight.
The only thing I always say, whenever we get close to an election, I always just tell people to just get registered. That's the only reason I ever mention it. I want you to get registered. It's so sad that 3% of the registered people who could register vote or something stupid.
Yeah.
Maybe 20%. But still, it's really sad. Get out there. It's part of your
Register,
constitution.
vote. Do so.
Now what? It's Halloween's going on. Have you done anything crazy for Halloween?
I'm dressed up tonight.
I love it.
Yeah, this is before. Before Slim Fast, before Nutrisystem, unless of course it's before a hair care product like hair growth for men, then I'm after.
I used to just tell people, they'd say something like, what do you do? Have you ever done it? And I'd be like, oh, I'm a model. They'd say, really? What have you modeled? And I was like, I'm the before guy. What do you think? It's so funny to hear anybody else say it. I love it. I was at the Hard Rock thing. I saw, I got to talk to Elvira, who was out at the Hard Rock deal.
Yeah.
That was pretty cool, man. She's a real down-to-earth lady, man.
Well, I tell you what, if I can give a shout out, I went to Tulips Burlesque, their show last night, their Halloween show.
How was that?
Unbelievably good. They have a couple of dancers there that are great. Poppy Pie, Lolly wasn't there this time, but they're just wonderful. Wonderful show. It was my first. So I guess I popped my burlesque cherry.
There you go. They just... I love it. Seriously, this guy's really, really, really funny. You guys are going to love it. Everything he says could be the truth. There's a possibility of it.
You never know.
But the reality is, you're going to laugh till you cry. You'll love it. He's really funny, and you're going to really enjoy it.
Thank you much.
Definite. Thank you. Take it easy. We're out here at Tru Tulsa. We're doing the live shoot out here. You've got it on the web. We're going to be throwing it up on the thing. We're heading it up. It's going to be beautiful. I always got to pause for camera pictures. Throw it up on the web. That way, if you're just checking it out to see who's out, who was out that night, that kind of thing. Have you been out to CJ Maloney's?
First time.
First time. What do you think?
Well, I tell you what, I gotta say, at least they got a crowd. I do a weekly show at the Utopia Club, and it's usually 8 comedians, 2 bartenders, and 4 drunks. So I'm glad to actually see some living human beings tonight.
Oh yeah, man! It's gonna be great. There's gonna be a lot of people out tonight. A lot of people are ready to enjoy all of the comic wisdom that will happen
and this guy's really funny. Seriously, really funny. What's going on at the Utopia? Got to give you an opportunity to plug that. Go.
Well, I tell you, we've been doing the show on Thursday, starting Election Day.
Election Day.
Everybody go
Vote. Register. All right.
Starting Tuesday, November the 6th, we're going to move the show to Tuesday. See if it does a little bit better attendance-wise. It's a hit and miss kind of thing. One week, we'll have. I tell you, one time we had 17 comedians. We had we had a couple of guys from Denver, a guy from San Francisco, and a guy from Chicago that all came out just for that show. A couple weeks ago, we had a guy from St. Louis, and I'm not really sure if it's just that time of year with football and whatnot. It's kind of slacked off since then. But so that's why I'm out here tonight trying to help out Billy and everything he does. He came out one night and supported our show.
Yeah.
And, so I appreciate, we all try to help each other out, local comedy. Nobody gets paid for this.
Nobody gets paid for this. So the only people who get paid for this reality is the bars who are allowing this to go on. So if you like it, if you dig it, get out to these bars, Utopia included, any place, and get out there and spend some money. Keep these establishments afloat.
And I tell you, because comedy reminds me of pro wrestling back in the day, when a pro wrestler would drive 250 miles and maybe make $5 or not make anything.
Yeah.
These guys do the same thing. They come in, they give up their time with their family, take time off work, and they come, they'll come 100 miles to do a 5-minute set. So we just appreciate all the local support. You guys, just keep it coming. We appreciate it.
Keep checking it out. Keep loving it. It's got to be fun. Anything that anybody should look for tonight out of comedy in general, out of their comedic experience? What should people really hone into that's happening with the comedian up on stage?
I just tell everybody this: everything that I do has a bit of truth to it.
There you go. And what's the truth in it? You'll have to guess for yourself. It'll be fun though. It'll be It'll be like a match and find game. It'll be great. You'll love it. It's going to be a pleasure to have him on. Always a pleasure.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate it.
Absolutely. Thank you, man. That's awesome. Round Tru Tulsa, we're continuing the quest that is the desire to find what is so fun. I love the LEDs. It just, as you can see them get brighter visually on the screen. But we're out here talking. This is a new comedian. Nobody's seen this guy. So you might have seen him, but you haven't seen him on here. Tell us who you are. What's going on?
My name's Goldman. Just starting out doing open mic nights and just kind of hanging out with everybody and doing some comedy.
Awesome. Now, I have heard you're extremely funny comedian. People have told me. Other comedians have come up to me tonight and said, dude, you got to talk to this guy. This guy's really funny. We got to get him on. What should people look for, out of your comedy set? Don't tell them jokes, but just what's your style of comedy in general?
Really, the funny stuff is just, it's what people do, who people are.
I think that's the funniest stuff. I thought the entire show Seinfeld was awesome because that's real. That's what people are doing.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Seinfeld, just anything new, any of the Comedy Central stuff just cracks me up, man.
I love it, man. Okay, so you've got right now, obviously Halloween coming up, right? Halloween, huge fun experience. What have you what crazy stuff have you ever done on Halloween? Like, give me a good story. What's going on there?
I honestly couldn't give you any stories at this moment. I just would say, it's a crazy any day where people walk around for candy, and it's a funny day. It's a fun day.
I love it, man. Literally.
Smashing pumpkins, doing everything.
Now, do you think, okay, people who are throwing Halloween parties, do you think they're thinking, I want to get in a costume, or I want to have a whole bunch of attractive people come over in togas and really tight skirts or whatever, whatever the stuff. Do you think something like that's maybe an ulterior motive?
I think what they're doing is they're just following the Mitt Romney, Barack Obama thing. They're just looking for the candy, just voting for somebody. Just, hey,
get out there, vote, register.
You know what I'm saying? This is my treat. Vote for me.
Okay,
this is what
so if anybody sees something tonight, they love what they've heard. Where do they go? Where do they tune in?
Look up Rock Goldman on YouTube. Come out to the comedy shows. Go out to Looney Bin. See me at the open mics at Looney Bin. Just keep watching because it's still funny stuff anybody can see around here.
Dude, it's gonna be awesome. I think people are really gonna gravitate. You seem like a good guy. I've heard good things. I've heard stuff about people pulling onto the side of the road and laughing after, merely about stuff that you've said. So I'm looking forward to it. What would you say, like comedy-wise, has been like an inspiring vision for you? So when you think of comedy, funny movie, funny show, not have to be your favorite, just something funny.
Probably people just over conversations and, you know, certain things like that, watching TV. I mean, any kind of humor that I'm going to see like there, I'm going to be laughing, you know, country music, you know, anything like that, you know, rock and roll, all that kind of stuff. It's just funny.
I love it, man. I agree, dude. I agree. We're going to look forward to it. Stay tuned. Check it out. If you're on the web, you're watching live, we love it. If you're watching the DVD footage or the online footage, check it out. We'll throw it up on the web. You'll love it.
Yeah.
And this guy's sure to be funny. It's been a pleasure talking to you, man.
Tru Tulsa.
Thanks, man.
Tru Tulsa, we're out here doing yet another amazing, fun experience in the world of comedy that surrounds, you know, Tulsa. I mean, the Tulsa metropolitan area, it's crazy, it's booming, and stuff's happening.
Absolutely.
We're talking with literally one of the coolest up-and-coming comics right here, man.
Well, thank you very much.
What are we looking for tonight? What's going to happen tonight?
I don't know. Well, hopefully, I'm not the only comic dressing up for Halloween tonight. You know, we were told or asked if we were going to dress up. I told them I would. So, yeah, hopefully I'm not the only one. But
currently, Stoic Cool. What would you say? What would you say? Total outfit. People looking right now. What are you dressed up as?
I don't have all of it on, but I'm a
no,
zombie
just
eradicator.
to give him a hint.
Zombie eradicator. I don't know.
Zombie eradicator.
Yeah.
So
I'm
if you
ready for the
really
zombie
want to see
apocalypse.
what a zombie eradicator is, lean on the edge of your seat because that enjoyment is coming.
Absolutely, definitely. Yeah, talking about zombies in my bit. I don't know. I think there's a big zombie boom. Like everyone.
There's a huge zombie boom, man. I've been digging
it.
through like all of the Walking Dead series.
Excellent
you know,
series.
people chopping things up, and you know, and I'm like, and that show seems like it's a reality show because they'll create characters that you can kind of get involved with who end up getting their arms torn off.
Yeah,
you're like,
definitely.
yes, real zombie.
You know, I think the reason everyone loves zombies so much, everyone just wants to kill people. Like,
I think that's
about it. You thought about it.
That might
Everyone
be it. I
has.
mean, because you're like,
You get cut off in traffic, and you're like, I'd love to kill that person. You know? Like,
I think when people come out and all right,
that got really loud.
man, I love this song too, guys. I love this song too.
Great song.
But we've got some fun stuff up to coming up. There was did you see Resident Evil 6 coming out on the video game circuit?
I haven't seen anything about it yet. I don't watch much television, but I love Resident Evil series.
Right? It's kind of getting a little ridiculous now.
The
People
movies,
just running around
yeah.
chopping things up,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah, definitely.
right.
The movies are alright, but that guy got really excited.
Yeah, man, they're really pumped, man.
Yeah,
I gotta tell you, it's like that one part in Jerry Seinfeld, Desperado. This is my song, man. This is my song.
Great.
Just stares
great
at it
series.
in silence and claps.
Loudly. Really fucking
Very
loud. But you guys, you're gonna love all of the fun that's gonna happen.
Definitely.
How long have you been in comedy? How's this been treating you so far? What are your experiences?
Well, this is my third or fourth time, or fourth or fifth, I can't remember. I got a shitty memory. I don't know, even my first time up, it was here at CJ's. I had other comics laughing, like they told me like you did a great job. You know, most comics bomb their first time. So that's definitely an ego boost. You know, that definitely helps you keep going. I had my first heckler last time out of Fishbones also.
I don't understand the heckler. I think it's somebody who's like, my day sucked and I'm gonna ruin that guy's life for my own personal enjoyment. Like I'm wondering if it's some of that, or they just think this is gonna be really funny when I add this part into it.
Maybe, and I've interjected when other comics are up, but like I'll do something that helps them that they can play off of, maybe. But I'm not heckling them per se.
Yeah, like somebody's like, you ever have a bad sexual experience? And you're like,
absolutely.
Tell me about it. Tell me about it. You know, like you just
wanted to add into it to be a part of it, and that's
like Daniel Shapley. Last week time he asked if there was any hermaphrodites in the audience. I said yes and no. And he played off of it. But
well, it depends on your definition of hermaphrodite. I did not have hermaphroditic sex with that woman.
But I've kind of had an epiphany about hecklers. I really think if the comic's bombing, like they just suck, and someone heckles them, like the crowd's for the heckler. You know? If the comic's doing well and someone heckles them, everyone else is against the heckler. You know. So I guess last time I was doing all right, and I had people were booing her, and I don't know. So
well, and you know it's nice. I know behind us right now, you can kind of see him getting set up. You can kind of see DJ Sway getting his stuff going over here. It's going to be a fun show. There's lots of stuff happening. There's people getting out there, they're filling up. You got people in the back playing poker. It's a good crowd. You guys should come check out the CJ Maloney's. Seriously, if you're watching on the web right now, check it out. If you're seeing it on the DVD, you should have checked it out. And,
absolutely.
I
bought my copy tonight.
Seriously, it's worth it.
Definitely,
have you seen anything crazy coming up in the media recently? I mean, I know we're having a big election. I for the most part, not to ask who you're voting for, because that's a whole nother discussion.
Yeah.
How ridiculous do you think the ads have gotten? I think that's I'm literally looking at this. Maybe I'm older now and watching more.
Yeah.
But I'm watching it and I'm going, really? I don't remember ads having presidential candidates pushing other people off of cliffs and things. Like I'm like, this is ridiculous.
Definitely.
It's gotten so stupid. It's like Saturday Night Live.
Absolutely. Yeah, definitely. Have you seen like the Mark Wayne Mullen ads? Like the guy running against him, like shooting a barrel of water, like.
Who does it, right? Exactly.
I don't get it. Like,
you're watching this stuff going like, I love it. And I saw there was some Kinko's ad or something, or something, and it's like, yo, here's the great, the new honk if you've had sex with somebody, if you had sex with this guy. And then he's like, got the picture mugs, and the other candidate's like, oh, that's a good thing with the mugs there. You don't want anybody to see what you're really drinking in there. I'm like, that's our political system.
Well, politics has always been funny. Like, I don't know. And I'm not really a topical comic, but there's so much I could use, definitely. I mean, it does get ridiculous, though. I mean,
oh, totally, man. And they think the funniest thing, and I've noticed, I do a little stand-up comedy type stuff. I've always been a joker, and it's something like you want to do it. But I think what's funny is when you notice what's happening because other people aren't. It's the stupid stuff that everybody misses.
Oh, yeah.
And I think politics, to me, when I'm watching, I care less about all of the crap back and forth because that's politics.
Yeah.
But I love the expressions. I love the attitudes.
Oh, yeah. I saw a thing. This guy was interviewing this woman. She goes by the name Cinnamon. It's this fat black lady with a pink wig on. And she was calling Romney a communist and a socialist. And I don't know. I mean, he's definitely a capitalist, but I really don't. I mean,
but it's not that. See, that's not the thing. It's so ridiculous right now. If I look on my Facebook page, I bet you it is like hit or miss.
Yeah.
It's like this person will destroy your world, and that person will destroy your world, and I love it. I love the people having a voice, and that's. But
right, like I said this before. I would think of two candidates. They're just two different sides of a shit-filled foil-covered coin.
Yeah, that's exactly it. You're like, anyways.
Yeah.
But that's crazy. You got a huge hurricane that's coming into New York right now. Did you see this?
Yeah, I heard. Yeah, they're shutting the city down apparently.
Now, have you ever had a moment when you're like watching all the coverage on these storms and stuff, and you think about one of those movies like A Perfect Storm or like Day After Tomorrow or something? And you're like, it's totally gonna be that way.
Oh yeah.
And then the zombies are gonna come out, right?
Oh, definitely. Yeah. Right out of the sewer. I was stationed out in Hawaii. I did 6 years Army infantry. And when I was out there, like we had this huge tsunami warning, which recently they just had one. But so I got on Facebook and I started posting, oh my God, I can't swim. Like, and people were like, are you okay, man? Like, and I'm posting this from my cell phone, sitting in my buddy's living room, drinking beer. Like, and people back here are freaking out, like, oh my God, like get to the nearest shelter and all this shit. And I'm like,
well, I mean, they're gonna have like they're gonna have the reporters. They're gonna be like, no, that looks like a normal street with like some bushes in it. Like, come over here, and it's like a tsunami's like blowing lawn furniture behind him. And you're like, yeah, that's perfect. Film that. And the real people are like looking out there like, what's that jackass doing out there with the camera?
Yeah, definitely.
He needs to go inside. It's mildly raining out.
It's just spitting.
I love it, man. Well, we look forward to seeing what's going to happen on it.
Me too.
I'm pumped.
Yeah.
Now, how if people are looking for you, you know, who do they Google for? How do they find you? How do you say the name? You got a Facebook, Twitter, all that stuff. What do you got?
Well, I'm anti-Twitter, but just Nathan McCoy. If you want to read, I wrote an article for Urban Tulsa in 2009. I made the cover and I tied for Story of the Year about some experiences I had in Iraq. If you just Google we are infantry, it'll pop up. But
well, check it out. So if you like what he's done and you want to see some more stuff, Google that and check it out and see. Look it out. Check it out for yourselves. Probably very interesting. Obviously, he's a really interesting guy. We've had a blast talking to him, and I look forward to seeing what the comedy's going to happen.
I'm having fun. I'm looking forward to tonight. It should be a great show. Definitely. Support your local comics. Come out. See us.
Check it out, man. Thanks.
Thank
Appreciate
you.
it. All right, Tru Tulsa, we're out here. We're having a great time. We're talking to all these comedians. Love it. Now, one of the guys that we haven't seen in a second, but I'm serious, you're going to love him, Mr. Randall Lopez. Randall, what you been up to, man? You doing anything crazy?
I'm black, so every day is crazy for me. So I step out the house is a challenge every day.
Now, something now, as far as like what's going on in the world, what's happening right now, we got a new president coming up. Whether we get another Obama, or because he's going to be a different Obama. Always second-term president is different. Or we going to get a Romney? What are you thinking, man? What's going on, man? As you watch these political ads, this craziness happening, what do you think?
Well, I admire Romney's pimpish ways, but we got to still roll with the black man. The country is broke. Who's better at being broke than the black man? That's what I feel, so.
You know what? Oddly enough, there's some great.
With a black man, our money is in the best possible hands. Because we know how to front. We know how to fake it to make it.
Man, I got to say, I am surprised with a president who goes in with like the worst catastrophe ever. Man, we're in like 95 wars. We got troops all over the world. I'm really surprised he's not the first president to assassinate himself. Like, he's done a great job, I think, just merely keeping shit together.
But black people, suicide is not our thing. That's y'all thing. Suicide ain't never been a black thing.
Oddly enough, seriously, suicide rates considerably higher on a 2 to 3, like 2/3 of suicides are white in comparison to black. Yeah. Isn't that crazy?
Crazy.
But I gotta tell you, man, Halloween-wise, you done anything crazy Halloween-wise? We got the Halloween stuff happening.
No, but I plan to do a lot of trick-or-treating in the white neighborhoods. It's just too much pressure trick-or-treating in the hood. I gotta leave. I can't do it.
Okay. All right. Quick question. All right, let's say. Now, I'm not saying it's weird. Let's say you trick-or-treating in the worst neighborhood, man. What do you take with you? What do you go at? Man, this is a bad neighborhood. This is like the worst neighborhood you've ever been in. What do you take with you? Do you take mace? Do you take a great sense of comedy? What do you take?
I'll probably take one of my white friends dressed up as a police officer so I won't get my bag snatched.
Man, I was at the Hard Rock recently, and I saw the craziest thing. I saw like 3 people walk in as Dangle from Reno 911. I was like, really? Yeah. Really, you guys are gonna go as a cop? Don't mess with people like that. People are drunk, people are stoned, people are having a good time. You gonna look like a cop.
That's why I like trick-or-treating though in white neighborhoods. Because black people, trick-or-treating in the white neighborhood, we get to the door, y'all just want to know one thing, what we are. Black people, they want to know what you are and what you can do. It's too much pressure. One time, I messed around with James Brown for Halloween, trick-or-treating in the hood. I danced on more porches than a jigaboo on an episode of Roots. It was crazy. Just crazy.
Man, that would be, honestly, I think, something that's fun whenever you do a Halloween costume is doing something that has, some type of a thing. If you're mobster, you're like, hey, ooh, Yeah. I think if you're James Brown, man, you got to bust out some James Brown lines.
I dance.
You got to do it. If you're Ray Charles, you got to wear the glasses.
Yeah.
You can't get Scott without the glasses, man.
James Brown, you got to mumble and slap white women.
No, now every time you throw up something new, man, anything people are looking for tonight, anything you are trying to express as a message, anything you've seen recently, throw it out there.
I was thinking all the good superheroes are white. You know, you'll never get no other races. I was just, thinking about other races doing the jobs of superheroes. I think they'd be good for it.
That is crazy, man. You know what I always saw, man? The Mayan president, man. The president when the world falls to an end, at the end of the world. When you watch one of those apocalyptic movies, what color is the president?
He's always black.
Isn't that true? And when the Mayans according to the Mayans, we all gonna be in for it.
Yeah.
And the president is black. We're screwed.
Fifth Element, one of my favorite movies, and that's in the future, and the president was black. So
now are you gonna see Bruce Willis coming out with a new movie? You gonna watch it?
Yeah, I love Bruce Willis movies.
Man, and it's like I will watch anything with Bruce Willis. Bruce Willis could be selling me like a Kirby or a ShamWow, and I would watch that shit straight up.
That's how I feel about Denzel too. Anything Denzel in it, the movie could be titled Denzel is in this one.
You see that new movie with Denzel?
No, I haven't seen that one.
Okay, Denzel's coming out with this new movie, right, where he's like a pilot and he saves the life of all these people, right? And they're gonna throw him under the bus because he was drinking.
Oh, I don't know. All his passengers must have been white. That's probably the real reason they threw him under the bus.
I gotta say, man, I'm not black, but if I had to watch that movie, just the trailer, I'm looking at that thing going, man, they didn't act like that when that man put that white dude put that thing down, when they put the plane down in the Hudson.
Oh, yeah.
They didn't go,
Damn
you drunk?
right. Damn
No,
right.
they were like, you're a hero, here's the key to the city.
Damn right.
No, man. Randall Lopez, you guys gotta check it out. Randall Lopez, always funny. Always, I would say probably top 5 favorite comedians ever in Tulsa. You guys will love it. Randall Lopez, stick with it. If people want to check out what you're doing, how do they get in touch? How do they see it? How do they see it?
They can look me up on Facebook, Randall Lopez, or follow me on Twitter at R_Lopez Comedy. And I think that's it.
I love it, man. I love it, man. We're looking forward to it. It's going to be a great show tonight. You guys are going to love it. Thanks, man. Always a pleasure.
I guess.
Tru Tulsa, we're out here continuing our magic voyage into the art of what's funny locally, right? Have you seen anything crazy? Okay, now I'm guessing, you just got to have a healthcare worker, right?
Yes. Definitely. I crawled out of the garbage can and found some scrubs.
Nice.
Cheap costume, Goodwill.
Have you now every year I see crazy costumes. I was out at the Hard Rock recently, last night. I was walking around checking out all these costumes. What have you seen, recently or in the past that's really kind of like stood out to you? That's kind of either creative, stupid, or like good costume. Like, what do you?
The stupidest costume I think I've seen all year has been the Obama mask. I'm just saying,
I saw a story that they were trying to like predict who's voting for a person based on either, who's buying the Romney mask or who's buying the Obama mask.
Right.
Well, I was like, that's no fair. I mean, like, it depends on how good your imitation is of them, right? Like, if you're gonna pull off an Obama mask, you need to be like, now look.
Right.
If you're gonna pull off the Romney mask, you need to be like,
and not say a word. Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So
I don't know. Seeing a white guy wearing an Obama mask just doesn't.
It doesn't.
Doesn't do it for me.
I mean, it's like, wait. What was the name of that movie? You know what that makes me think of? What was the name? Was it Tropic Thunder? Did you see Tropic Thunder?
Tropic Thunder, yeah.
Where he got like nominated for an Oscar for like wearing blackface in the movie and doing both parts or something.
I think it was more of an awkward Oscar, if you will.
Yeah. They were like, you're nominated, really. You're really.
Good job, guys. Great job.
You're up against people who've done stuff like, Tom Hanks and Castaway, but don't worry about it.
Don't worry about it.
It's good, high quality work.
Yeah,
Was it Robert Downey Jr., right?
I believe so. I'm trying to think.
And later he became Iron Man, right? Sherlock Holmes.
Right, yeah.
Where's blackface in this movie?
Yeah.
Okay, what's your favorite comedy?
My favorite comedy?
Or a favorite comedy. Something that right now when I'm saying this to you, you're like, That's a pretty funny movie, and I'm thinking about it.
You know, I'm always gonna have to go back to that Tom Hanks movie when I can't remember the name of it. I think it's
I love
called
Tom Hanks stuff.
Last Stand, I believe is what it's called. When he's the comedian and he brings this girl up and teaches her how to be a comedian.
Oh man, like I really haven't seen Tom Hanks do anything bad.
I know, it's a brilliant
recently,
movie.
Tom Hanks has been on like Saturday Night Live.
Right.
He was on like this Night of Too Many Stars, which is a whole bunch of comedians. Have you seen? Do you ever watch the Night of Too Many Stars?
I think I have. I gotta, all those zombie movies are coming back to me. Hold on just a minute. No, I'm just kidding.
It's a fundraiser for autism, right?
Yes,
John Stewart does.
Yes.
But he's been on that. He was on like Stephen Colbert's show.
Yes.
And this is all for this new movie that Tom Hanks is doing. At World Atlas or whatever.
I believe so, yeah. Where he dies and his little boy finds the notes. Is that the one it is? I don't know. But no, Tom Hanks is brilliant. I love Tom Hanks. Absolutely brilliant.
So what are you looking for from hecklers tonight, from people laughing, like anything? What are you thinking?
Just a good crowd, You got to have a good crowd to get a laugh. Because some jokes you tell, you got to have audience participation and,
Yeah, they got to say fun stuff. They got to be like, you say how many people have you had sex with, and you're like, oh shit, I lost count, like, I don't know, a while ago, right?
Right, yeah, you know what I'm saying? And like when you tell a joke, you don't want to hear cricket, Yeah,
right?
exactly, yeah.
You want to hear more of like a cha-ching, yeah, woo!
Yeah, Jiminy Cricket is not the good thing in this case,
No.
I promise.
No, so
We're not
I
looking
think at
for
that moment
Pinocchio.
you're like, I'm sorry, we must be experiencing technical difficulties. Either that or you're all are experiencing technical difficulties. Seriously, turn the hearing aids up. This is getting ridiculous. Way too old of an audience.
Is this thing on? Hello? Anybody out there tonight, I don't know, though.
I love it. I love it. Now something fun we've been doing, right? We've been putting these things up on, we're making Blu-rays out of them.
Okay.
So we're going to put all the fun stuff we're doing. It's up on the web. Like right now, if you logged on, you could check it out.
Okay.
But we're going to go back, edit all this stuff. It's going to look really cool.
All right.
And it's
Sweet.
going to sound really good. Are you pumped?
I am so pumped. I'm ready.
Now, how much Halloween partying have you done?
This is actually my first Halloween event this weekend.
But not the last. Right?
Exactly. This makeup's has got to go somewhere. It can't be a one-night thing.
No, and I love it. I love it. And I know that we've got the great LEDs and the great lighting. You all might be missing. She has phenomenal makeup on the face. It literally looks like she has been choked. She's been pulled around the neck by this thing.
Are we talking freaky now?
I don't know. Is it like... Looks like she's had some fun, people, okay? That's what I'm saying, all right? You've heard of a naughty nurse. This looks like somebody who was a naughty nurse.
It was keyword. Good pun there. Was, yeah. Well, yeah. Hopefully.
How long have you been watching comedy stuff and checking it out and seeing what you thought and?
Well, I've always watched Jim Carrey. I thought he was great. I grew up watching him around my dad. Bill Cosby was another one. I mean, watching him.
Bill Cosby's a really nice guy. I've met Bill Cosby.
Really?
Really nice guy.
And Jim Carrey's a jackass. I met him. So,
really?
Yeah.
Can't imagine that.
Isn't it a disappointment?
I immediately, like, if I walked up to Jim Carrey and said hello, and he did anything other than, like, Ace Ventura, like I would immediately go, like, you're not Jim Carrey. You're not the third.
Right, yeah, no.
That's who you want him to be. I don't.
Right, he's kind of a jackass, though.
But I hear that he's kind of a dick. He's not the goofy, fun, slapstick guy. Like, I think he's maybe a drug addict. You don't want to party
with him at all. I promise. You don't. You don't. No politic conversation ever.
Man. And some people are really cool when they're like really kind of gone. Like I met Nicolas Cage. He was a little gone.
Really?
Yeah. But nice guy.
Right.
But he's a little guy. And other people, when they're gone, they really get a bad rap for being really kind of nuts.
Yeah, but like, I don't know. Jim Carrey is just, you're like, oh, never mind, dude. Just kidding. Talk to you later, man.
Have you seen anything recently coming up in the news? I know we're electing a new president. Not whether you're this person or that person. I think the current political system is kind of funny. I think for like the 35 and unders, the majority of people receiving news are getting it through, I don't know, like shows like this or like Saturday Night Live or like Jon Stewart. They're not turning on the news.
Right.
And I think the portrayal of the candidates through things like Saturday Night Live has been really, really funny to me.
Well, it's kind of been raunchy too, you know. Like, I mean, it's kind of like a shocker moment, you know, that whole shocker thing.
Yeah, I've
just
seen this the new sketch comedy show, Key and Peele. Have you watched this Key and Peele thing?
I haven't. I have not seen it.
Okay, so Key and Peele, right? There are these two half black guys, and they make a lot of different jokes. Really good guys. I heard somewhere they're from. They used to work on Mad TV or whatever. But they've been doing the Obama impersonations. One guy does the Obama impersonation, and then the other guy does his anger translator, Luther. And so he'll say something like, Americans, we've got to learn how to be good to ourselves. And then you got the guy behind him's like, look, man, I'm going to tear you up, man. Because the president's never, like the entire time I've been watching politics, he's never even reacted to anything. He's so, and to see somebody behind him just flipping out, man, is something about that I just really cracks me up. I'm looking forward to seeing what's coming up, to seeing all the funny stuff. What do you think about CJ Maloney's out here? You think people should come out here?
I think people should definitely come out to CJ Maloney's. It's one of the better bars I've been to, I promise, in Tulsa. But I think it's great out here. The atmosphere is great. The crowd looks pretty big right now, getting bigger. So.
Okay, now if people wanted to, do you do like comedy and stuff like that, other places, right?
Oh yeah.
Where if people wanted to find out where to go, where to find out what's going on, where do they go? Tell everybody what's going on.
If you want to come out to CJ Maloney's, we give everybody a chance. You get about a 10-minute set. Fishbones Owasso. Anywhere else, you could go to Utopia, Looney Bin. I mean, anywhere. I mean, even in your bedroom, in front of your mirror, if you'd like. I mean, that's what you're comfortable with. You know. Trying to imagine everybody else naked. Might as well look at yourself.
I'm loving it. I'm loving it. You guys are going to love it. We're going to throw this up in front of the other piece. If you're watching live on the web, stay tuned. You know, more stuff's going to happen. If you're checking out the DVD, you missed a blast. You need to come back and check it out again. But stay tuned. It's going to be really, really funny.
Yes, very
right?
funny. Very funny.
All right, thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Thank you.